Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have finalized a 10 million deal plus 2 million in add-ons for Christian Nørgaard with Brentford. The player is now doing his medicals at Arsenal as reported by The Athletic, and he will be announced this week. Two more signings are also being anticipated by The Athletic, and Andre Bata is working against time. Obviously, he's got 11 days before preseason, and Mikel Arteta is saying, I want my players before the 19th of this month. Will Andre Bata beat the deadline? We'll be talking about that as well. Arsenal will sign Rodrigo in August, not in July, in order to balance the books, but also in order to give them time to work on outgoings. Arsenal are also looking at Gordon and Lookman, according to The Athletic this morning, and that means there is a big possibility that we sign a left winger independent of Madueke and independent of Eberechi Eze as well. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Arsenal are really making moves in July, deal after deal, talks after talks, agreement after agreement. Nørgaard is the latest on that list. So The Athletic have reported, and they're saying this through David Onstein, that Christian Nørgaard's agreement to Arsenal is now totally done. The two clubs have settled on a £10 million deal that is guaranteed plus 2 million in add-ons. Now that discards all the 9.8 million that was rumored around. It discards the 15 million that was rumored around. The Athletic have reported on the agreed fee, on the final fee. It is 10 million guaranteed to Brentford and 2 million in add-ons if the player actually does well. Now, it's a very good deal for both parties, for all parties actually, according to The Athletic. Nørgaard gets the deal that he wants to make, which is moving to Arsenal. Arsenal get a cheap replacement to Jorginho in the squad, and of course Brentford get a very good offer for a player who is actually 31 and moving away from his prime, and is moving closer to his expiry of his contract and expiry of his career. All parties involved are getting a very good deal. The Athletic are also reporting that this is one of the deals that will be announced this week. The player will be announced this week as a new Arsenal signing. So probably tomorrow, probably the day after that, we should be getting that official announcement from Arsenal on Christian Nørgaard. But for me, it's a good deal. In terms of what it represents, it brings more quality to the team. But most importantly, the experience is something that, I really adore about this one. Because Arsenal have lost a bunch of experienced players. Jorginho, Partey, Tomiyasu. We've lost a couple of experienced players, right? And you needed to sign players that are mentally mature, but also have gone through thick and thin. And that is what Christian Nørgaard is all about. He's been at Brentford, a struggling team. They struggle to stay in the league. They struggle to even win a game. He knows the struggle of, the Premier League. He knows the struggle of playing at a top level. So welcome to Arsenal, Christian Nørgaard. He's now doing his medicals, and after that, media duties, and after that, we should be getting that official announcement. But Arsenal are not ending there this week. By the way, credit to me, because I said this week, I said this yesterday, by the way, that this week Arsenal should be putting Christian Nørgaard on medicals, and it has just happened. Kind of a messiah, aren't I? But the Athletic are saying Arsenal are not ending there. They're now expecting 2 more deals to be done this week, as they are on the verge of completing the signing of Noni Madueke, and they're on the verge of completing the signing of Victor Gyökeres. At this moment, it is still unsure. We are still it's still unclear whether we shall complete the signing of Christian Mosquera this week as well, but there's a very big possibility that Arsenal could get that one done as well. Now, like I told you, this is a very busy period for Andre Bata and his team. They have so many deals that are like very close. It's like playing a pool table, and you have about 4 balls, at the exits, right? Obviously, you're going to have to handle one after the other. You can't hit them all together unless you're really maniac at pool. But it's gonna take some time for you, and that's what Arsenal are trying to do here. They're trying to complete deal after deal, one after the other, and also you've got to work on the priority of the deals, because Mikel Arteta is out there sending fireballs like Where is the striker? Why haven't we done the striker deal yet? Where is the midfielder? Where is this and that? So Andre Bata, of course, is doing very good work. But if you ask me, which are the other two deals that Arsenal will complete this week? One is the Victor Gyökeres deal. That one will be done this week. I don't have any doubt in my mind. I don't have any questions in my mind. Victor Gyökeres will be signed this week. Because if the fee has been agreed, totally agreed. Now the structure is very close. The structure is very close. It's just about 5 million that the two clubs are playing around with. Do we put it among the fixed fees or do we put it among the add-ons? Arsenal saying, why don't you put it among the add-ons? And Sporting is saying, why don't you put the 5 million on the fixed fee? So it's just child's play. Within a few minutes, as per time of recording, that deal could be finalized by now. So that is the first signing I think that is gonna get done. And also why I think it's gonna get done quickly and early. Mikel Arteta is obsessed with this guy. Mikel Arteta is obsessed with the center forward, right? But Gyökeres is even more desperate and obsessed with the move to Arsenal. You know players that add some money to the club's bid in order to join? That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And I remember Cesc Fabregas did it to Arsenal, right? He added some little money to Barcelona's offer in order for him to move to Barcelona out of Arsenal, right? So that shows you a player that is committed. That shows you that a player is pushing for the deal to happen. The moment Arsenal and Sporting are like, okay, negotiations are done, that guy is going to take a rocket to London. He's not going to take a plane. The Boeing 77 is a little bit slow, right? He's going to take Elon Musk's rocket to London and he will place himself in the medical chambers before anyone summons him. Because that is how desperate, that is how anxious, that is how ambitious he wants this move. And I adore him and I love him. And it's been reported as well, by the way, by The Athletic, that one of the reasons, okay, there are two reasons, but one of the reasons as to why Gyökeres has, won the race to join Arsenal over Šeško has been the willingness and the mentality of the player towards the deal. Gyökeres pushed Sporting until they were like, okay, let's talk to Arsenal. Like, the player and his agent pushed Arsenal. They pushed away Manchester United. They pushed away Juventus. And that is what Mikel Arteta really likes. That is what Mikel... think about all the players Arsenal have signed that have rejected other clubs. Rice rejected Manchester City. Kai Havertz rejected Madrid and Bayern Munich. Martin Odegaard rejected very many clubs. Zinchenko rejected many clubs. Gabriel Jesus rejected many clubs as well. So that is the mentality Mikel wants. A player that is sold onto this move, a player that is sold onto this dream, because he knows you're going to be committed in training on and off the pitch as well. Now, the other deal that I expect will be done, surprisingly, is the Noni Madueke deal. Now, I'm going to explain why I think the Christian Mosquera deal might actually drag on a little bit, right? But the real reason why I think Madueke will be done, it is the simplicity of the deal. Like, when I've been reporting, right, this summer, there is no easy deal that I've reported on apart from Noni Madueke, honestly. Think about maybe the Kepa deal. The Kepa deal. The Kepa deal was so easy. Very, very easy, right? Very easy. But when you think about Christian Nørgaard and his deal, Brentford first said, give us more money. This is, this is a little bit low. Give us some money. And there was some, negotiations back and forth. And you see the time it has taken for us to reach that total agreement of 10 million and 2 million in add-ons, right? But Noni Madueke is such a simple deal. Chelsea are looking to offload, and they know no crazy club is giving them, this ridiculous 60 million euros, right? And they're already humble. They know they've made their money, and we're being told that Chelsea need to make about 60 million euros in player sales in order to escape FFP and PSR and all that kind of financial restrictions. So Arsenal and Chelsea have a very excellent working relationship. Like, I don't know of a club that Arsenal share an excellent working relationship like Chelsea. Back in the day, it used to be Southampton when Wenger was there, because we got Chamberlain from there. We got was it Chambers from there, and I think Theo Walcott as well from there, right? But these days, it's Chelsea. Like Chelsea and Arsenal they just it's just a phone call away, and they're like, oh, you're Arsenal, what do you want? Madueke, okay, let us send him over. I barely remember a time when Arsenal wanted a player from Chelsea and we didn't get him. And of course, they're always not the good ones, but still, we get the deals done. So I think Madueke, for me, will be the second signing that Arsenal make. And then Christian Mosquera and Eze will be big contenders to sign for Arsenal in the coming week. I don't know if I'm right, but I have my intuitions are set on those two deals getting completed this week. Of course, the big question now is, will Andre Bata beat the deadline of July the 19th to deliver the signings that Mikel Arteta requires? He's got 11 days to sign Gyökeres. He's got 11 days to sign Madueke, Eze, Mosquera, and renew the contract of Ethan Nwaneri as well. Although that is not kind of a priority for me, but I think the Trossard deal is one that might be a priority. Can he beat the deadline? I think he can, because what he has done, and this is genius of him, what he has done is he has secured the agreements on personal terms with all these guys. Gyökeres, personal terms done. Eze, we have the green light. Mosquera, we have the green light, personal terms done. Madueke, 5-year deal until 2030, agreed. So he's got all these players now just waiting for the here we go of the clubs, right? Madueke is just waiting for Chelsea to say, go and do medicals at Arsenal. Eze is waiting for Palace to say, you can do medicals. Mosquera is waiting for Valencia to say, you can fly for medicals. And Christian Nørgaard is doing medicals. So I think Andre Bata in the next 11 days is going to be the busiest man on earth, apart from myself. But he will get, I think he's going to beat the deadline. I think by July 19th, okay, maybe, not July 19th, right? By July 20th, okay, Arsenal will have completed Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres, Mosquera, Nørgaard, Zubimendi, and Kepa. 7 deals. I think, I don't know if this is being too optimistic, but I think by the time we have completed these signings, I think by the time we will have done these deals, I'm optimistic. Very, very optimistic. And of course, the Athletic are very optimistic as well. Now, I've got some very good story to report to you about Rodrigo and the left-wing situation altogether. Let's start off with the Athletic update, because for me, it makes a lot of sense. Now, they're saying that Arsenal have done more background work on Rodrigo than any other player. More background work on Rodrigo than any other player. And that they are big admirers of Gordon. They're big admirers of Ademola Lookman. But there is a very big difference in valuation in terms of what Atalanta want and what Arsenal value Lookman for. Like, I don't know, but there was talk that Atalanta wanted about 75 million for Ademola Lookman. And in my opinion, like, why? Because he won you the Europa League. Well, that serves you, it doesn't serve me. We are not in the Europa League. Thank you. Yes, we are signing your guy. He's good player, won you the Europa League, but Arsenal are not trying to win the Europa League. So do not sit there and say, we're giving you a guy that won us the Europa League. We are not in the Europa League, and we're not trying to win the Europa League, right? So, for me, Ademola Lookman should be going to Arsenal for 50 million maximum. 50 million maximum. I can see him as a good player. I can see him as a bit of an upgrade to one of the two, Trossard or Martinelli. But 50 million maximum, in my opinion. Now, Gordon is difficult. Very difficult. But Arsenal are still having that name. And that tells you, what Gordon and Rodrigo tell me is there is a very big chance and possibility, like 90%, that Arsenal sign a left winger after Madueke and Eze. There's a very, very big chance, right? Because why would we still be getting these reports if Madueke is close? if talks are ongoing between Chelsea and Arsenal, why would we be getting Rodrigo reports and why would we be getting Anthony Gordon reports? Now, there is a report that has said that Arsenal want to sign Rodrigo in August, not in July. One, it will give them time to balance their books, but also it's going to give us time to sort out the future of many players and also do something in terms of player sales. So when you think about the Rodrigo deal, if it's going to cost £77 million, you might want to get some £50 million in the sale of Martinelli, from the sale of Gabriel Martinelli. So if Martinelli leaves for 50 million, and let's say Zinchenko leaves for, let's say 20 million, that's 70 million, and maybe you do a Kivior sale. I don't know whether it's gonna really happen, but and maybe you do a Kivior sale, there is a very, very, very big chance that then you can go and do Rodrigo, right? I don't think Arsenal have 300 million lying there, but I think we have like 250 million, then plus player sales, that, you know, expenditure, that budget could rise up to 300, 320, or even 350 million. So Rodrigo for August. Arsenal will sign a left winger in August. Let's wait and see what's going to be Lookman, Gordon, or Rodrigo.